we're going to paint today, but I want to show my friends my old stereo that my wife told me to get out of the house. Now, a good day to paint. This is going to be for my record and for the internet. I really don't feel well. I don't have that much energy. So I'm going to do one side at a time, which is not usually done that way, but since it's going to be my house, that's the way I'm going to do it. Now you want to take your light bulbs out, put a little bit of paper in those. This is very important too. Take your service box, if you have one, and wrap it up real good. And this is a real trick right here. There's always a little tag here with a number. Always mask that thing, because the electrical guys need that number, and if you paint it, then they can't use it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some 3/4 inch tape. This is all we use, okay? On the outside it's 3/4 inch white. We only use blue on the inside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to take tape and go along this black edge right here to this other black edge. This is all stone. I don't know where they got it, but it's really cool. Anyway, I'm just going to cover this whole window area, the window and the stone. I'll shoot the body, and it's going to be, we thought it was going to be this purple and then light purple, and now it's in between. It's kind of a lavender. So we may trim with this on the outside. Now remember, I spent probably $100 caulking everything on the last paint job. Every joint on the inside, you can't see any bugs or anything. See what I missed? Everyone always misses. But everything has been caulked. See, all this was caulked in. This house was built in the 1960s before they had caulk. So I had to caulk in every little bit of everything. So most of that's done. Like I said, I don't feel well. And then we got to have a plan. I'm going to get these boxes first. This is called your soffit area right here. It's usually a long board that goes along here. This doesn't have it. This is your fascia right here on the outside. Now I'm going to spray the inside of these all purple. I've got a good day for it. It's about 85 degrees, but remember, even if it's 85 degrees, it could be 120 degrees on the house, and you don't want it that hot, because the atomized paint will hit the wall and it won't flow out. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'll run tape here all the way around the outside across the window, and then I'll show you how to use plastic, cheap plastic, to mask it. You don't need anything fancy. This will be masked out just out to about a foot, right about here, and then I'll use tarps all along here, and I'll keep moving the tarps. Now one thing I need to say about painting is that you want to check your wind and you want to check your neighbors. Okay, make sure she doesn't have a Harley Davidson or some Ferrari or something 6 feet away from the house that you're going to get overspray on, because if you get overspray on it, it'll ruin your day, believe me. And you want to check your wind. If you see like my truck over there and that's the neighbors, go over and ask them, please, could you move that away? I'm painting. So you got to be careful about that. You don't want to get overspray on anything that's not supposed to get overspray on. Now with this door will be painted the body color, but I have to take the door off, put some deckers on it, which is a whole nother process. It's easy, but it's a whole nother process. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the windows. I'm going to mask all this off. Now what you can do, let's just say, move everything away from the house. You do not want to get any paint on this bottom concrete. Okay, not unless they want to paint it, and most of them don't. So I've got a trick for that. Now on this bottom concrete, I'm going to be using a 410 tip, which I'll explain later. But what I will do is I will spray right down to about here. That's it. This other part I will leave, it will be all unpainted. And then what I'll do is I'll come back with a ragdoll roller or a paintbrush, and I'll do the bottom all the way along, and I won't get paint on anything. Oh! There's a Balinese Siamese. Never been out of the house. Really nice cat. Kind of cross-eyed and stupid, but nice cat. So I'm going to paint today. Like I said, I don't feel well. Doesn't help when you have a wife that won't support you in anything you do. My wife hates my painting. My wife hates my bikes. My wife basically hates everything. You know, it's really true when they say, if you got a good woman behind you, you can go a long ways. And if you got one that won't support you in anything, well, let's just say it doesn't make you happy all the time. It makes life a lot harder. Alright, I'm going to mask this and I'll show you how to do it. And we continue. Now we've taken our 3/4 inch tape, white, or 1.25 inch, I don't know what the hell it is. Anyway, I put white tape all around this area that I don't want painted. If you look real close, what you want to do is you want to get this edge here tight. The other edge you want to leave it open like that, all the way around. Then what I do, I can't do it one-handed, so you get yourself some painter's plastic, which is 9 by 12 or 10 by 9. You cut out a piece that's a little bit larger than this, and you just start on the edge and tuck it all the way in. Lift the tape up and tuck it all the way in. Then we'll put something along the bottom to hold it against the wall, and you got it masked. And I'll do the same thing on this door, on this window, on the next window, on the next window. Then I'll lay out my tarps, mix the paint, and we'll start shooting. Alright, let's see what we got so far. I'm using a Titan 440i, which is great for a one-man operation. They're about $800, have a lot of pressure, and they very dependable. I'm using a Graco Contractor 2 gun, 410 tip, sometimes a 210. 210 means it puts out a 2-inch spread. 410, 6-inch spread. Anyway, this is what it's going to look like. It takes a lot of paint to do this, and you've seen the way I put this cheap plastic on the windows. It's very easy to do. And down along the bottoms here, you can use spray shields right here along the bottom to shield the bottom, this concrete right down here. Okay, you do not want to get anything on that, because you get any paint on concrete during the summer, it is one hell of a bitch to get off. So this is going to be a light lavender, and we may use a darker lavender on the trim. I'm going to do one side at a time because I'm old and I'm tired and I don't feel well. But you can see I've only gone down so far right there. Now this paint I'm using is Duration. Duration is a Sherwin-Williams product. Just to let you know, you don't buy it at Home Depot. This stuff is $57 a gallon. But when you put it on, this stuff is going to last. And this is a satin, which means it has a slight sheen to it, and it resists water real well. It's going to take a lot of paint to go through these boxes up here. Then when I get done with this area, I'll keep on going down this way and get everything. And you can see where the last time I painted, went back when I was an amateur, I got a little bit of primer on the bottom there. It's still there, but you can't have that on people's houses. So I'll put a ton of paint on here. This light lavender. This is the color here. And then we're going to use a darker lavender for the trim, which will be where the black is, here and here. All this will be done by hand. As soon as I get the body done, I take the plastic off. I'm going to do that with brush and roll. With a brush. And all of it is an art, but it's like anything else. It just takes practice. Practice, a little self-confidence, a whole lot of beer, and hell, you'll be sailing. Do this side today, I'll do this other side tomorrow. Generally you do a house all at one time, but generally most of these guys are 20 years old and they can stay up 3 nights in a row. So generally, in my case, that ain't fucking gonna happen. Excuse my language. Now this is oil primer here, which is really good for water, and we'll put oil primer over here also before I do this side. And I'll do the same thing with this window. I will go plastic and tape all the way to the bottom. I'll use oil prime on all this bottom part that's exposed. And we'll keep on keeping on. Painting a house is really pretty easy if you know what you're doing. Of course, I guess you could say that about any profession. The doors will be taken off, put out here and sprayed. I'll put some door deckers on them. And they'll be the trim color. No, maybe the body. So it looks kind of, it doesn't look right now, but once it all gets the light lavender and then we get the trim on there, it'll really look better. And I think I'll probably need another $750 worth of paint, probably. But you put it on quality paint, I'll tell you what, it stays on. Okay, we continue.